Yo, what up? It's Teddy, Caravan Crypto. I'm back again with another video. And you know what we're going to talk about today? You know what I'm going to talk about today? And you're just going to listen. And thank you for listening, by the way. But we're going to talk about being irresponsibly long on crypto. And what does that mean? And what's the alternative? You see, when you have a position in something, it's business, right? Like, you have to constantly second guess your position. You have to. And I know, like, you know, it's not a thing that people want to do, is like second guess themselves, but you have to just constantly second guess yourself. Is this the right position to be in? You know, is this the best position to be in? And the reason why you got to second guess yourself is because things are changing. You know, nothing is the same all the time, and you have to find out if the information that you have currently, if that's the right information to be making decisions on. And so I'm irresponsibly long on crypto. I have very little USD savings. All of it is invested in crypto. And a lot of people, you know, that's a position that they just can't stomach, right? And so I'm like, you know, man, Teddy, maybe you're dumb. Maybe you're dumber than everybody else. And you're not doing it right. And this is not financial advice. I am a random person on Facebook, YouTube. Please don't just listen to what I say without confirming anything or doing your own research and then deciding to act on it. We're just talking here like friends, okay? Not like financial advisors and clients. So, you know, I'm like, Teddy, maybe you're dumb, right? And maybe you should have some USD because this crypto thing could go, you know, to zero, like everybody says, the big go to zero tomorrow type thing, right? Now look, why would I hold USD, right? Like that becomes the question. It's not whether crypto is going to work. That's not the thing, right? Because we can come up with millions of theories on how it could or couldn't or whatever. But why hold USD? Why put my money into a bank account? Or, you know, some kind of financial instrument, a CD, or, you know, some kind of savings instrument or a pension thing, you know, 401k, Roth IRA, you know, blah, 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 blah. Why would I do that? And let's think about it. Let's think about the pros for that, okay? Let's say you had a CD or any one of those financial instruments, and they were giving you 10% per year, okay? Which is unbelievable, all right? It's unbelievable that would happen. Let's just say, though, right? Let's just say that that's happening. It's not. That's fantasy world, right? So let's say 10% per year. In 10 years, you double the money that you put in, right? So if I put $100 in there, in 10 years, I got $200. In 1 year, I got $110. Whew, killing it. What's the point of that? You know? Well, if we look at the rate of inflation right now, which is like there's a lot of unofficial numbers out there, and the financial world is still speculating on it, but as days go by, we get a lot closer to what the number probably is. And we estimate that inflation is probably at 15%, right? And it was pretty bad at 2 and 3%. The reason why it was pretty bad is because in 10 years, you know, you lose 20% of your money. Now in 1 year, you're almost losing that much, right? You're losing 15% of the buying value of your money. It's not the dollar amount that should concern you. It's how much of goods and services can I get for my dollar, right? Remember back in the day, grandma, grandpa always talking about, you know, man, I went grocery shopping and I bought a whole cart full of groceries for 30 cents. And that was grandma and grandma's day. And they did that. They bought a car full of groceries for 50 cents. You know, they bought a car for $5. You know, because back then the dollar, you know, it was worth a lot more. Like, you could buy a lot more with it, right? Nowadays, you know, I'm buying a brand new car, I'm buying for at least 20-something thousand. That's like the low end cars too. At least 20 grand. You know what I mean? Maybe 15, 18, 20, something like that, right? But compared to $5, it's like, wow, what happened? And inflation happened. And so that's what happens with inflation. Like, it's a rapidly compounding deterioration of the value of your buying power. And at 15%, you know, that means that if I put my money in a CD and I got 10%, the magical fantasy world CD that does 10%, that means that I still lose 5% of my buying value, right? So I have $100. What's it called? I put my money in the CD, and that $100 could buy me $85, but now I got an extra $10 next year because I put it in the CD, but I'm still short $5 in terms of my buying value. So that means in 10 years, even putting it into a CD that's going to give me magical 10%, the fantasy world 10%, I still lose 50% of my buying value over time by putting it in there, right? It's still worth 50% less than what it was worth when I threw it in the first place, the first time, right? And that's the thing, right? Is like, where do I store my USD? That's the conclusion I came to, okay? And I'm just sharing it with you to give you some kind of perspective. That's the conclusion I came to. Like, if I didn't have it in crypto, where would I put it? Like, would I leave it as US dollars? No, it's not a good idea. It's a bad idea, actually. You know, I could put it into real estate, but to me, you know, we're in such a market bubble right now that I don't want to lock myself in right now into, you know, these all-time high prices. Every month we're breaking home price records. You know, it's like always happening, right? With commercial real estate, I haven't really looked at it, but from what I've heard and, you know, read a little bit on, there's some savings to be made on purchasing those things if you could talk to the right seller, a seller dealing within the realm of reality. But I'd much rather just wait until the bubble pops and the prices come down and then buy then, because then my principal is way lower, regardless what the interest rate is. I really don't care what the interest rate is if I could save 50% on the principal. You know what I mean? Like, what would you rather have? 1% at 500,000 or 4%, 5%, 7% even at 250? You know what I mean? I'd rather go with the 250. Like, to me, that makes more sense. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm doing the math wrong. Man, please correct me if I, you know, in the comments if I am. However, in a hyper-inflated scenario with money, I'd still, you know, if worse came to worse, I'd still take my USD and I'd throw it into real estate because, you know, in a scenario where there's hyperinflation, real estate prices are going to skyrocket. Any asset that you hold is going to skyrocket. But, you know, it's more of like the short-term bridge before we get to that scenario where you have to kind of think about, you know, how you want to play it, how you're going to play this thing. And I don't think putting it into you know, the real estate market right now is so great per se. Hopefully I'm not wrong and I don't mistime the market and the prices don't come down before the rate of inflation gets realized. You know, these are some things to think about. But in any scenario, let's look at crypto, right? Putting it into Bitcoin or any kind of crypto. But let's say Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is really like your safest bet, right? If you want some security in the crypto space, and don't get me wrong, there's like no security. But if you wanted some security in the crypto space, you'd go with Bitcoin. That's why it's $50-something thousand. But, you know, Bitcoin, let's look at its lows after a bull run. Like, we're in a bull run right now. Bull run's where the price goes up. You know, when we enter a bear market, that's where the price really comes down a lot. And let's look at the lows, right? Now, the lows were 250, then 1,000, then 3,200, right? And I think because of the level we're at right now, the consolidation that we have right now, you know, I think that we're probably looking at, you know, $30, $40, or $50,000 being the next low after the bull run, which is a crazy scenario. Now, if your money is in a savings account, if you just have it as cash or it's in some kind of instrument, you know, and it's right now a melting block of ice, as Michael Saylor likes to put it, you might want to think about putting it into crypto, you know, and you might want to think about really assessing your USD position very clearly and very quickly, because you want to be able to make the right decision in a timely manner, because prices are going up in crypto, man, unfortunately, and fortunately for a lot of us, but prices are going up. And I would hate to see somebody who worked for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and saved up, did their, was financially prudent, right? And saved up their money and amassed, a savings that they're relying on at a later date, and see inflation, the big money printer, just eat that away. And because, you just basically got the micro level of finances mastered, and didn't worry yourself about the macro level, realize later that the macro level came to bite you in the butt. And that's why I'm making this, this video. There's a brother that asked me a few weeks ago, he said, is it crazy to think that I shouldn't keep my money in dollars at all? Like, should I just keep it all in crypto? And I told him, I literally said, I'm an extremist. This is an extremist. You're asking an extremist. I would say no. It's not crazy to not keep any USD. And he said, well, yeah, because I'm thinking about it, and I was coming to that same conclusion. Like, why would I even want any USD at all? But yeah, man, this is just some thoughts, man. We're just, I'm just talking, and you're just listening. Don't go empty your bank account right away unless you really feel convicted to do so. But do some research, man. Maybe what I'm saying is incorrect. I'm on some kind of weird, vegetarian Ramadan craziness going on, and I'm not seeing straight. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong to think that holding US dollars is a bad idea. And I know, man, you guys got your shoebox money. You got your mattress money. You've been holding your mattress money and shoebox money for a while, and you've been, reciting this mantra in your head this whole time that cash is king. And I'm coming along 2021. I'm trying to tell you that it's not king, and you're like, what are you talking about? I tell you, of course it's king. What are you, stupid? Cash is king, duh. And maybe it's not, bro. Maybe it's not king. Maybe it's not king. Maybe the reign is over for it. And that's something to think about. It's something to think about. But yeah, I'm about to get my boxing workout in, man. About to get my butt whooped. I'm gonna see y'all soon. Love y'all. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. Hope it was helpful. All right. Peace.